What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Today we are going to be talking about being intentional versus setting expectations. So, are you intentional with your time? Like when you sit down to work, when you sit down to message, when you sit down in a one-on-one meeting, when you go to a Keto Life party, when you're on a Zoom, are you being intentional about what we're doing? Like right now on the Zoom, are you being intentional? Like, I'm going to learn something today that I'm going to apply. Are you being intentional that this 20 minutes I am laser focused on what we're doing? So first thing I want to talk about, time is going to be a big topic today. And this is something new that I don't know where I heard it. I want to say it was somebody from Prove It. I'm not really sure, but I heard this recently and I kind of just ran out and grabbed it, because what happens is I'm a very, very scatterbrained person. Like, oh, butterfly. Like, I can just go off in la la land. Like, I can be talking to somebody and a car drives by and I'm like, I'll hear something. So I'm very easily distracted, and I'm trying. Actually, I'm not trying. That's self-talk. Don't try, do. So I'm being more intentional about being more intentional. So I'm being more intentional about when I get on my phone to do follow-ups, I'm following up. If a message comes through, if a notification comes through, if a Facebook, I'm trying to stay on task for that moment of time. Whatever I'm doing, so I'm trying to stay on task for the topic and the subject or whatever I'm doing. If I'm sitting down to print out labels to ship 10 days, that's what I'm doing for this period of time. So I don't know who I heard it from, and I'm not going to take credit for it. But if you saw my Facebook story, my Instagram story, you noticed I got me some. I'm trying not to drop them because they're actually glass. I've got me some. I've got some hourglasses. That might be easier if I hold them between my fingers. So I got some hourglasses. And this one is 30 minutes. This one is 10 minutes. This one is 5 minutes. This one is 1 minute. So what I'm doing now, I'm carrying them in the box, in the bubble wrap, because they're glass that they came with. I'm carrying them in my backpack. So like, I like to go to Starbucks to do work, but it's really, really easy to get distracted in a public place. So what I'm doing is maybe I'm sending Facebook messages. So for the next 10 minutes, that's all that I'm doing, period. I'm going to put headphones in so I can act like I'm ignoring people. If somebody just starts to chat with me, I can just keep my head down, keep working. They're like, oh, he's on his headphones. For 10 minutes, no matter what, this is the task that I'm doing. I'm being intentional. I'm putting it out to the world. For 10 minutes, nothing else matters. There are no keto emergencies. If somebody texts me, I'm not getting off task. If a thing on my phone vibrates or dings, I'm not getting off track. I'm being intentional. This is working great for me. It might be something you like. It might not be. Whatever. You don't have to go buy hourglasses. You can set a 10-minute timer on your phone. For 10 minutes, go do it. You can set an 8-minute timer on your phone. But think how much more productive you'll be if you're intentional about that 10 minutes instead of trying to follow up with 10 messages, but every time you send a message, you go check Snapchat. You send a message, you go check Instagram. You send a message, you're watching Prove It TV. You send a message, you're talking to Susie, whatever. So that 10-minute task could take you hours because you keep getting off track. So being intentional with your time is huge. And I'd like for everybody, you don't have to participate in the chat unless you want to. I want to do a little bit of a 1 to 10 scoring for yourself. You can share it if you want to. You can message me later and say, hey, Nick, this was my scores on these different things. But when you're intentional versus, what the heck? I just see, like I'm on such a rant. Being intentional versus setting expectations. So when you're intentional, you can focus on things. When you're not, the world just comes crashing in, things happen. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's just say since we started the Rhino Run, so over the last 30 couple days, on a scale of 1 to 10, how many times are you acting out of a place of fear? How many times is fear setting in? anxiety. Maybe because you're not getting caught up on your follow-ups, or you're not getting caught up on Facebook posts, or you wrote that Instagram post but you never posted it. Now it's 2 days late and like you're stressed out, you're anxious. Maybe you're anxious because you're not hitting your goal for the month. Maybe you're anxious because you didn't move any 10 days and you're sitting on some ketones that you just ordered. How many times would you act out of a place of a depressed state, a stress state, or pain? Those things are going to happen when you're not being intentional. If you're being intentional about spending quality time with your spouse, your family, your children, your loved ones, when you're being intentional about your time, you're going to get the things done. When you're intentional, you should be feeling these things. Score yourself on a 1 to 10. How often are you feeling excited? Like I was excited to get on this Zoom at 12 o'clock. I was intentional that I got home in time to be on this Zoom at noon. That was out of my control. My Wi-Fi was out of my control, which somebody moved the box. So I don't know what happened, but things are going to happen that are out of your control. Don't worry about that. You can't control who's doing what in the news. You can't control your flat tire. You can't control your car battery being dead. You can't control you woke up to get ready for work and your dryer didn't dry your clothes fully. You can't control your kid being sick. You can't control things. There's things that are out of your control. I learned a long time ago, if it's out of my control, I'm not worrying about it. Period. I watched a Tony Robbins video, I would guess probably about 3 years ago. Who's drinking ketones? I watched a Tony Robbins video about 3 years ago where he taught about stop worrying about things you can't control. I can't control who's in the White House. I can't control taxes. I can't control my car breaking out. I can't control a car accident. Well, kind of. You can focus on driving. You can be intentional about watching the road and driving. But if somebody else hits me, I can't control that. Things, life, like whatever. I can't control the stock market. I can't control the price of groceries. I can't control the price of gas. I can control my business. I can be intentional with my business. I can be intentional with my time to make more money. I can be intentional about my 5 and 10 days to make more money. So I don't have to worry about, gas went up 20 cents a gallon. So there's things that you can control, intentional. There's things you can't control. Who cares? It happens. Life happens. Every day of your life, there's going to be things that happen out of your control. Power's going to go off and your alarm's not going to go. The power's going to go out. Somebody's going to hit a telephone pole. A storm's going to come. You can't control the weather. If it's cold, move somewhere warmer. Like there's just things you can't control. So stop worrying about the things you can't control. Start working out of a place of intention instead of expectation, so that you don't have to live in fear, anxiety, depressed, stressed, pain, and you can live in excited, strength, joy, belief, faith, peace. So those were the other ones I wanted you to rate. On a 1 to 10, how often are you acting out of a place of excitement? How often do you feel strong strength? Like maybe on this Zoom, my excitement, my energy is passing off and you're feeling strength. You're feeling strong enough to go message that person. You're feeling strong enough to go do something. Joy, belief, faith, peace. So rate yourself on those. You can share those with me after the Zoom if you want, or share them with the person you coach with. But when you set an expectation with like, I have to hit this rank this month. If I don't hit rank 6 and get my car payment this month, my husband's going to kill me. My wife's going to kill me, blah, blah, blah. Stop focusing on the expectation. If you're focused on expectations, when you sit down, like I was just at a one-on-one meeting this morning. If I would have went into that one-on-one meeting, like I've got to sell this lady some ketones, I would have been focused on the wrong things. I went to that meeting intentional that I was going to educate the person, that I was going to share my excitement for ketones, that I was going to share my joy for ketones, that I was going to be on fire. I was intentional about being there. I was present. I was focused. I was listening to the words coming out of her mouth, and I was intentional about the things I was pouring into her. My cup is overflowing. Her cup is empty. So I'm trying to fill her cup because my cup's overflowing. Same thing with the Zoom. I'm trying to fill your cup because my cup's overflowing. Is your cup overflowing? So I had no expectations. I'm not focused on the expectation of that meeting. I was focused on the intention of bringing value to that person. She ended up ordering 2 boxes of cream and an extra box of Keto Nat. She's a new customer. She bought 1 box of 20 on a sale day. So I went into that meeting with no expectations, just with intention. And it was a home run. Because if you go into every meeting with an expectation, like I'm behind, I'm not hitting my goal, I'm not hitting my rank up, I don't have my new volume, whatever your goals are, if you go in with expectations, you're going to leave disappointed because the person's going to sense it. You're there for the wrong reasons. And it's going to create the overwhelming things that you don't want. So when you feel those emotions set in, catch them and get intentional. Leadership is all about intentional and awareness. Just because you've hit a rank, just because I'm a rank 7 doesn't make me a leader. Me being intentional about my mindset, my action and my activity, my belief and my behavior is going to make me a leader. People are going to want to follow me where I'm going because they see the things that are happening because of my intention. Everything's about intention. Whenever I go to an event, like we all have events coming up. We have the Playbook September 14th. We have Hacking Better in Louisville, October 26th, 27th. I'm leaving for Dallas. I see Missy on here. Missy's coming to Dallas. Carrie's coming to Dallas. We're all leaving for Leadership Coaching Dynamics by Prove It in Dallas next week. We are going to go there with an outcome. What do we want to get out of this event? But we're going to go there intentionally to learn, to grow, to become a better leader, to get around other leaders, to learn these things. I didn't know any of this stuff I was teaching. I didn't know about intention. I was one of those people that just woke up every day and I flung crap against the wall to see what stuck. Like I never set goals. I never had intention. I just woke up and went with the flow. And that's most people in the world. Most people in the world are just waking up. The alarm clock went off. They put the same clothes on. They eat the same breakfast. They get in the same car. They drive to the same office. They come home. They fight with their kids. They fight with their spouse. They're literally on Groundhog Day every day of their life. We don't do that here, guys. We are intentional about our time. We're intentional about our activity. We're intentional about our behavior. We're intentional about our belief. We're intentional about getting around each other so we can lift each other up. So be intentional. This isn't something we do once a month. This isn't something we do on the noon Zoom days. This isn't something we do for an hour after the Zoom call. This isn't something we do until we accomplish our call to action. This isn't something we do weekly. This is something you should do from the second you wake up to the second you go to bed. I promise you, you'll have a better life if you're more intentional about time with your kids, time with your spouse, time with your boyfriend, time with your girlfriend, time with your family, time with friends, time with keto people, time. If you're intentional with your time, I'm not saying that you have to walk around every 10 minutes flipping an hourglass. Like, all right, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to talk to Joe. All right, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to get this done. It doesn't have to be a constant like, oh my God, 10 minutes. Oh my God, 10 minutes. But whenever you are sitting down to focus on a task, a timer, an alarm on your phone, a reminder in your calendar. Like I have a reminder in my calendar for manifestation and visualization. I have a list of things that I want to achieve. I'm not focused on when they happen. I'm focused on the activity and the action and the behavior to get there. Like one of my goals is an income goal. One of my goals is a rank goal. One of my goals is a car goal. One of my goals is a travel goal. I know you'll hear a lot of leaders and people say you have to set a time date on it. And like a goal without a time is just a dream or something like that. But I'm less focused on when I achieve it. I'm more focused on the intention of my activity, my actions, the things from now till then. And I promise you, if you get intentional about your action and your activity, you are going to see more growth in your business. If you're intentional about coming to a Keto Life party and inviting guests, if you're like, we just had a workshop last weekend. We have, excuse me, I'm burping. We have on our, let me find my sheet here. I got all these laminated sheets. I don't know which one's which. I wasn't planning on adding this in, so give me a second. So we have our calendar in the Rhino Squad with our different calls. So Tuesday night at 8:15 p.m., we offer a training, a call that I host or Kelly hosts or somebody else hosts. It's called the 10-10 call. 10 minutes of product, 10 minutes opportunity. Are you intentional about inviting to that? Every Wednesday, we have a GoPro, Go MVP, Go All-Star training at 9:15 p.m., which we're also calling the Business Bootcamp, where you can get your questions answered. Are you intentional about every new promoter, showing them where to find this, showing them how to use Zoom, downloading the Zoom app? And then every Sunday, we're doing a Share Sunday. Are you sharing that? Are you intentional about sharing that with your new people? Like sharing Mike Sipe's 100-pound story, sharing Stacy and Todd Rudisill's 130-plus pound story. We have more stories coming. Are you intentional about getting on these Zooms? Are you intentional about your life? Everything. Lead your life with intention. Stop worrying about the crap that you can't control. And I guarantee you, those things on your list of 1 to 10, your 1 to 10 will go up on your excitement, strength, joy, belief, faith, peace, and your fear, anxiety, depressed, stressed, pain will start going down. You want to have more 10s on the one side and more 1s on the other side. Stop acting out of a place of fear. Start acting and focusing on your intention of your activity and your action. So who wins? Who in what we do, who wins? The person that wins gets the most people to drink ketones, period. If you get 1,000 people to drink a 10-day experience and they drink it all 10 days and you're intentional about helping them and explaining it to them and teaching them and showing them why they want to drink it for 10 days, stuff like that. If you're intentional about the 10-day, you're like, yep, here's your 10-day, have a good one. Hope you enjoy it. Don't tell them how to mix it, how to drink it, how fast to drink it. If you just start throwing 10 days out, I guarantee your results aren't going to be that great. If you're intentional about your 10 days and you get 1,000 people to drink a 10-day, let's just say you get 700 of them to sign up and order on your site. The person who gets the most people drinking ketones wins. We're in the ketone business. So whoever gets the most people to drink ketones wins. So my call to action today is pretty simple. It's going to be a 5 and 10 day call to action. Can you be intentional about following up with people you've talked to about ketones? Can you be intentional about talking to your people that are watching, making a Facebook group? I don't care how you do it. The goal today is to get a 10-day in somebody's hands and be intentional about it. Be excited. Show them your belief in the product. Every person watching right now and whoever catches the replay, Pam has an amazing story. Deb has an amazing story. Missy has an amazing story. Missy's husband has an amazing story. Missy's children have amazing stories. Sarah Smith, your story is amazing. Stacy, your story is amazing. Amanda Vilfort, your story is amazing. Nayla, every one of us have amazing stories. Be intentional about passing the belief that we have for ketones off on the next person. Why did the lady I sat with this morning spend $240 on ketones? Because I was intentional about my time with her. I was intentional that I was excited. Everything I was doing was intentional. Like I went to that meeting intentional, not expecting a result. I didn't care if she ordered ketones. I just wanted to educate her and pass off my excitement and my enthusiasm. So whether you use social media, messenger, text, a video chat, a FaceTime, a Zoom, you use me, you use a third-party resource, a video. The goal today is to get somebody who's not drinking ketones to drink a 10-day. But I want you not to just give them the 10-day, ship them even if you're mailing them a 10-day, be intentional about it. Like, man, Angie is going to feel amazing. Angie's going to get great results. Hey, Angie, make sure that you watch the campfire video. Hey, Angie, download the Proof of Pulse. Hey, Angie, here's the campfire video. Hey, Angie, here's an Inspire On video. Hey, Angie, let's talk. Like, are you giving intention to that person? Hey, Angie, make sure you mix it with water. Make sure you drink it in 10 to 20 minutes. Are you giving them tips to have a good 10-day experience? Are you passing off your joy and enthusiasm for ketones? I am right at 20 minutes. I didn't want to go over. But guys, everything in your life, if you water your grass, it will be greener. Grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side because the person on the other side is watering their grass. They're nurturing their grass. They're fertilizing their grass. So if you're intentional, you can do that. If there's an area that's lacking in your life, if maybe you're not getting what you want out of church, maybe if you're not getting the promotion at work, it's probably because you're not intentional about waking up and praying and going to church and listening to the sermon and applying it to your life. If you have a bad relationship with your children, it's probably because you're not being intentional about your time with your children. If you're stressed out about money, you're not being intentional about your activity around what brings you an income. So guys, there's a bazillion and one ways I could explain intentional versus expectations. Stop focusing on the expectations, start focusing on the intention, and I guarantee you that area of your life that you're being intentional about will improve. I right now am being intentional about working out 4 days a week, 40 minutes per workout. I'm being intentional about my fitness, and guess what's happening? My body's changing. I'm seeing muscle grow. I'm seeing these things. Never in my life did I want a fit body or a six-pack, so guess what I never had? I never had a fit body or a six-pack. Guess what I'm doing? I'm being intentional about my workouts. I'm getting the results. So are you committed to your things? Are you intentional about the things you're trying to achieve? I really feel like I'm rambling now, just trying to throw in those last couple extra pieces. Guys, be intentional. Buy some hourglasses if you think that will help you not be scatterbrained and be intentional about your time. Focus on intentionally inviting people to all of the amazing resources. Intentionally inviting people to Keto Life parties. Intentionally inviting people to the playbook. Intentionally inviting people to Louisville. We should take double the amount of people that we have to Louisville. This is a 90-day Rhino Run. Are you being intentional about the 90-day Rhino Run? Have you been on every Zoom? Have you watched the replays of the ones you haven't been on? Intentional, intentional, intentional. I'm going to get off here and be intentional about uploading the last couple of days worth of Zooms. So, guys, I love you. I could talk for hours. I am fired up. I hope you guys all got something great out of that. Get in my messages. Reach out to me. Let me know how I can help you. And let's be intentional and change some freaking lives. That's all I've got, guys. Have a great day.